Hey guys, welcome to the show. How's it going? I've been having a little bit of issues with my YouTube today. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the site, maybe it's just my actual computer or something, but he's been having a little bit of issues. So hopefully this is working right now. Hangouts is on air. It's going away later this year. For quick streaming, try youtube.webcam. Okay, it's going away this year. I was giving me this little notification, I guess, in the top right here, but how's it going, guys? Hey, Verbal Armament, how's it going, buddy? The shooters were white. Were they? Probably. I have no idea. I haven't really looked into it yet, but I know there was a shooting at that, and I know, you know, I haven't really heard of many shootings going on at hockey games, right? Not too many. Plus, it's Toronto too. There's a massive, lots of gun crimes as well. But hey, the one, how's it going, buddy? A long time no see, man. Haven't seen you in a little while. I haven't really done many solo streams in a little bit though, so it's probably one of the reasons as well. Hey, Warp Pulley. But yeah, I got a few articles and different stories. A few funny videos. That I got to show you guys. And also there's that Kyle kid that got rescinded. His application for Harvard got rescinded, and all these people complaining and freaking out about it. It's pretty funny, but I'll go through his tweets a little bit earlier. But I'll wait till a few more people get into the chat. But hope you guys are having a good day. If you guys got any questions, throw them in a chat. Make sure to put my name in there. What city in Canada has the highest gun crime? I think Toronto is probably one of the highest gun cities that has the highest gun crimes. But Winnipeg had a high murder rate for a long time. We're actually increasing this year. We're on track to beating our record. Our record, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, we're already past it at this point. And one of the deaths in the previous record was like 6 people died in a house fire, right? So, thank you for the $2 donation, Christian Delorme. Hello, Ame. Raise your volume. You do when you do solos. Okay, so it's not it's not too loud right now. Yeah, I gotta go in the settings and fiddle with all that shit at some point because yeah, I've had a couple people tell me the audio is low. And I got to go into this one program that I have for my mic to turn up the audio. But at this point in time, you might have to just turn up the volume at this point in time. But yeah, I'm also pretty soft spoken as well too. Your mic and soft spoken sucks when I drive. Yeah, sorry about that, Christian, man. I apologize for that. But I'll definitely find it or fix it the next one. So then for some of the people that do have issues, like I think Faye Knox has mentioned it as well as a couple others. So I've just been lazy, to be honest. Just been pretty lazy. Hey Derek, hey Kel, how's it going? Hey Kel, if you've ever want on my show or on my channel, let me know. I know you do your radio thing, right? So if you want to come on here, I can promote it. You can come on right now if you want. It's all good. Can a person afford an apartment in Winnipeg with a $25 an hour job? Oh yeah, for sure, man. That's what I make. I make $25 an hour. So, and I can afford an apartment. Like it depends on where you're going to live, right? Like you can find one. It's going to be tough. Like, you can, get by and stuff. And sometimes you can get a pretty good deal, right? Like, if you spend your money correctly and all that stuff, you can get by. You can afford an apartment. When I was living in an apartment, the company that I was living with was really bad because they kept raising the rates pretty much like every year. But the house that I'm in right now, the guy hasn't raised the rates whatsoever. It's been pretty much the same. Hey, Kate, how's it going? Hey, Beer. Go for it. Happy. Hey, familiar stranger. How's it going, buddy? Christian. Nicholas Tesser. Do you know why Winnipeg has so many murders this year? A lot of it has to do with the increase in meth that has been going on. Like there's a massive spike in meth. And I actually saw one of my buddies back in the day on the street, like when I was downtown the other day. And he's all fucked up, right? Like his mom died of cancer and his dad was an alcoholic. You know, his family was really fucked up when I was growing up. Now he's like a meth addict, essentially. He's like, I saw him, he's like, yeah, man, I only do meth like once a month now. And this, I'm like, good job, man. I'm glad you're fucking, cleaning up somewhat or whatever. He's like, yeah, I got a job. And so I'm asking him, like, so why is there so much more meth? And he's like, it's just cheap, man. It's just cheap. It's cheap. And, he's like, Coke is going down in price too, because, they're trying to compete with the meth or whatnot. But, when people have money, they buy Coke. When they don't have money, they buy meth. And then, meth, they do a lot of crazy shit. Plus, there's a lot of, the crime is inevitably going to increase, especially when you have these lax policies that give a slap on the wrist to Aboriginal criminals. So then they just go and do the same thing over again. So it's like, yeah, it's just going to keep increasing. The crime's not going to go down. Hey, old white guy, how's it going, man? My stream was denied. Yeah, I've been having some issues. This didn't even, it set up 3 streams for this one as well. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I don't know what the hell's kind of messed up. But hey, old white guy, if you want to hop on, let me know in the chat. Let me check out the HH. Thanks. Would love to join you someday. Well, yeah, like I said, Kel, if you want to join me today, tomorrow, this Wednesday on the show, feel free anytime. Go for it. Good, thanks. Meth. Yeah, meth is definitely a bad problem. I hate roommates. I want to live alone. Yeah, living alone is obviously the best, right? Having any type of roommate is not ideal, right? In any situation, right? First Nations felon choke up on for another YouTube. Is that why BC is trying to start a free heroin program? Yeah, there's a lot of drug problems right now, and that's one of the main issues. I can't even hold a live stream today. Well, here we go. Here, let me check something out here, guys. One sec. Invite. Wait. Well, if you want to see if you can hop on, white guy, I'll just throw it in a link. Click on. Oh, she did make a good video. MaidenLiberty made a good video about Toronto today. Well, guys, go check out MaidenLiberty's channel. Also, go check out Old White Guy's channel. If anybody here is not aware, he's also a content creator. So go to his channel, subscribe. Good evening. But yeah, jump on. But I'm going to share the screen here so I can share one of these stories. Let's see here. Hopefully there's not a bunch of fucking issues today with the sharing or the lag aspect. Because I know it was a little bit shitty earlier today. Okay, here we go. Did it share? I don't even think it's sharing. No, I don't think it didn't. I think it failed. Sorry, guys. Yeah, of course it's probably going to do something like this, right? Hold on one sec. Is it even sharing right now? No, it isn't. Ah, come on, fucking YouTube, man. I swear to God. Like the stream. Okay, there we go. Now it's sharing. Thank you. But so I'll start with the Toronto, right? Shooting near Nathan Phillips Squares leaves 4 injured, sends crowd scrambling for safety. So Toronto Police Chief Mark Saunders says that 4 people are being treated for gunshot wounds at a shooting near the Toronto Raptors victory rally in downtown Toronto. There were multiple reports of gunshots and stampeding, sometimes around 3:45 p.m., as thousands of people gathered in Nathan Phillips Square to celebrate the team's victory. So police originally said that 2 people were found with serious injuries, but non-life-threatening injuries near Bay and Albert Street. Saunders later told reporters that 4 people had sustained gunshot wounds in connection with the incident and that all the injuries were considered non-life-threatening. Officers arrived relatively quickly, because there was a lot of people around. They found a couple firearms, but, yay, Raptors, diversity is our strength. This is going to be the new norm in Toronto and shit like that. And then somebody's going to have some acid thrown on their face for good measure, right? Like that's is this a surprise, really? What happens when you get diversity? Is it peace, love, and happiness and tranquility? No, not usually. Not usually. So I don't know, some gang member or something thought, I guess, it was a good opportunity to get some other gang members, or who knows what the fuck happened. I don't know as of yet, but this is stupid. It's not going to happen at hockey games. It's not going to happen to anything like that. Then you got the Tim Hortons and the media pushing, the diversity in Toronto and how great it is, and yet there is acid attacks going on. There is the crime rate is spiking dramatically. Like it's nothing good. It's not good at all, right? I think there was some map I think I had up earlier about, I don't know, it was like Toronto, and it was showing the demographics and stuff, but it's not good. That city is the worst off of any other place other than maybe Vancouver or something. And we see the effects. And there was that, I don't know if you guys saw that video of Doug Ford being booed when he went to the Raptors rally, right? And that's just an example. Now there's apparently Toronto. It's like, oh, we want more authority, or we want to be separated from the province. We want more rights. It's like, so that's what they're going to do. When they don't want to work with the province, now they're just going to say, well, we'll just work directly with the federal government. And then Trudeau is going to come and do that exactly. So then there's no incentive for the cities in the provinces to work together, right? Doug Ford makes a bunch of cuts, and then they get a bunch of federal money from Trudeau, so they don't have to make any of the necessary cuts. Like, this is exactly what happened in my province as well. What's his name? The mayor in Winnipeg was like, oh, I don't want to make these cuts because our provincial premier, which is a conservative, made a bunch of cuts. And he's like, no, you guys have been wasting way too much money in Winnipeg. And then what Trudeau does, he came over and then he just gave the funding through federally instead of provincially. So it's like, oh, okay, it's a fucking piece of shit. But let me check out a couple more articles here. Let's see here. Share. Okay, but I got to show you guys this. This is pretty funny. Or you want to wait till the end? Okay, so this is gold. All right.
To fully understand the scope of this morning, a home invasion suspect in North Carolina is back in custody after escaping from the hospital. 19-year-old Jadavian Hall is set to make his first appearance in court today. He faces charges of breaking and entering, also second-degree kidnapping. He was initially captured, and this is the stunning thing, when an 11-year-old boy took a machete. He was home alone during the invasion. He had a machete, and he hit Hall in the head with the machete, sending him
away. This is that little kid. He got a message. His message to the intruder: you're better off to get a job than breaking into other people's houses. That kid just fucking beat that kid over the head with a machete.
11-year-old boy.
Oh my God.
Took a machete. He was home alone during the invasion. He had a machete and he hit Hall in the head with the machete, sending him away.
Oh God, that's great. Let me just read. I know under CNN there's going to be terrible comments. 70 comments so far. All of them are perfectly fine with an 11-year-old chopping into a man's head with a machete while expressing concern he was home alone. You've lost your minds. That's not how society functions. 11-year-olds aren't meant to stand their ground, schmucks. So they're just meant to get killed. Like, look at 130 responses to this idiot, 8 likes. Yeah, so he got told he's a retard. John Wick in the making. Oh God, that's hilarious. That's great. I love that shit. What is this? Oh yeah, this is from iHypocrite. I recommend you guys follow this guy on Twitter. He's pretty funny. He's got some good. But iHypocrite. He's also Canadian. But elections chief says lowering voting age to 16 is an idea worth considering. So this is Elections Canada, 2019. Yay, 16! I think I saw the NDP today. They put it in their prerogative or whatever mission statement that they want to lower the voting age to 14. Oh God. Like, people are so transparent. Like, really, you're really gonna sell us this? Oh well, these kids they deserve to vote too, and blah 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 because we need their opinions in society. It's like, damn well, stupid retards vote fucking left, and brainwashed fucking liberals and other morons and corrupt people and shit. But they know damn well what the fuck that would do, lowering the goddamn voting age. I saw one article where they said they wanted to take away voting rights from seniors. I think it was in the UK a little while ago. They're like, we should remove voting rights from seniors because, they're assholes and they already lived a full life and they're just, whatever, But it's code for they vote too much for the right. They vote right wing too often. So we need to take away their voting rights. But if you say anything about taking away women's voting rights, blah! Oh my God, that's terrible. Let me see this here. So, oh yeah, this is a pretty fucked up article. But okay, well, I'll go with the church one. Let's go in order here. So, Picton Church allegedly discouraging members from attending Pride Month events. So, this is an article from the Globe and Mail writing about this, writing about a Christian church following their Christian ethics. And now it's a fucking bad thing. It's a bad thing, really. A Roman Catholic church in Prince Edward County is allegedly telling its members and all Christians to stay away from Pride events this month. St. Gregory and Great Catholic Church, including a note in its weekly bulletin written by Father Robert Chisholm. In the note, he wrote the events promote a culture of encourage activities that are contrary to Christian faith and morals. Sorry. This is especially harmful to children because it could lead them away from God's revealed truth, the note said. So this is a horrible thing. Oh my God, what a fucking bigot. You fucking piece of shit. Oh, you need to be like put in jail or some shit. When contacted by Global News for an on-camera interview, he refused, but did briefly explain why he included the note about Pride Month in the church newsletter. Because as a shepherd, he said, it's my duty to keep my flock safe. When asked to elaborate, he said he was very busy and then hung up the phone, right? So, they're trying to like fucking harass him. So, oh, I love the way they frame this stuff too. Whenever they frame, whenever they talk about, like I was reading an article just today and I think I highlighted it. and they're talking about when a liberal doesn't take questions, they're like, oh, they weren't available for a question. They weren't available, unfortunately, or they were just predisposed with some other really important thing. But then anything else, like, oh, they really didn't want to talk to us, and they refused to answer the CBC phone calls. You know, the Archbishop of Kingston, Michael Mulhall, responded to queries from Global News with a statement. I did not sanction this message. So, you know, like, it's just pussying out. Oh, I do not sanction this message, and it does not reflect the spirit of accompanying charity and compassion that should always characterize our faith. So, you know, there's one thing about letting gay people into your church if they're wanting to repent and stuff, but there's another thing going to pride parades and, uh, you know, condoning the behavior and whatnot. So, you know, that does go against, you know, your beliefs, or it should. The archdiocese has spoken with the pastor of the parish. He regrets any hurt his inappropriate comments have caused. Fuck you. Meanwhile, reaction to the newsletter has been swift. Picton resident Carolyn Cole set up a Facebook group on Thursday titled Prince Edward County Gay Straight Alliance. We need to fight this bigotry, guys. Oh my God, this is going to be the worst thing. Hey, well, you know what? I want Muslims to take over. I swear to God, at some point, I'm just like, please, just take over and stone these fucking people, for Christ's sakes already. Like, Jesus Christ. But in a video game, I'm saying, like, don't actually. But if it, I'm just saying, let Sharia law come. That's all I'm saying. I was surprised to see Picton didn't already have a Gay Straight Alliance page, so I started one. I was surprised Picton didn't have a Gay Straight Alliance. What do you, like, fuck off, like, because they're not a bunch of assholes. As a Friday afternoon, almost 200 people started following the page and sharing its message. Only 200 people. See, you're gonna write an article. See, they write articles about this, but then there's like huge campaigns with right-wing people, thousands of people responding it. They're like, oh, this little pitiful thing is they're trying to make something out of it. And then the 200 people started following this random dumbass, and we're going to write a story about it. After the Prince Edward County community page denied those defending the LGBTQ plus community from persecution. Persecution? That has taken... So, how are they being persecuted? By not being in the presence of Christians or something? Like, what? That has taken place in the county. I have made this page as an outlet for conversation, Cole wrote on a newly created Facebook page. Prince Edward County Mayor Steve Ferguson was also critical of St. Gregory's position. I was disappointed to read these critical remarks about Pride Week in Prince Edward. You fuck you too, Steve Ferguson. Fucking piece of shit. In Prince Edward County, we aspire to foster an inclusive and diverse community, he said. So the diversity means no white people, and I guess no Christian views. But hey, if you believe in stoning women and stoning gays, well, that's okay. But if you're a Christian and you don't believe in the union of man or woman, well, that's bad. We need to come after you. Yeah, and they're planning a protest. So, you know, like, fuck these scumbags. You know, each and every one of them. Come on, delete. Oh, it's gonna do that, isn't it? It's gonna do that. Okay. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, one sec here. I know it's gonna start just I gotta okay, there we go. All right, well, reclaiming Marxism in an age of meaningless work. So this is from the CBC today, or June 14th. And ideas. This is from Ideas, CBC Radio. I wonder how many CBC things they have, like promoting capitalism and the free market and anarcho-capitalism and stuff like that, libertarianism and how great it is. No, we're going to promote Marxism in an age of meaningless work. I hate Marxists too. They always blame. They say this is late stage capitalism. Like, okay, no, it isn't. Capitalism keeps us from creating value in life, says Yale professor. It's what helps you create value. It's what it's the mechanism that allows you to create value, essentially, right? Without forms of capitalism, a lot of the time, most people wouldn't have the opportunity to sit down and think and come up with new things, right? The things that these socialists want so bad to do, to sit down and ponder and write poetry, that is what capitalism allows you to fucking do, you idiot. In your socialist utopia, they'll be like, you have to dig ditches and you have to do this and you have to do this. When Karl Marx offered his critique of capitalism in the mid-19th century, work was brutal endeavor. Workers had few rights, conditions were terrible, and the work itself was often dangerous and poorly compensated. But wage labor was progress compared to what came before it. And while it may have overtaken the lives of workers, it offered some hope of a better life. So it's like, even they can't fucking say that it wasn't an improvement on how they were living before, even though they're going, these wage labor slaves. More than a century and a half after Marx first talked about the struggle between the ruling class and labor, the promise of capitalism, the progress was inevitable and would ultimately lead to good things for everyone, has proven empty for many people, right? That's not necessarily true. It's raised many people out of poverty. And it seems Marx's principal critique that capitalism stands in the way of authentic emancipation is arguably more relevant than ever. Martin Haglund, a professor of philosophy and literature at Yale University, argues that the nature of capitalism keeps us from making any meaningful decisions about how we create value and meaning. What distinguishes us, if maybe they're talking about and they're thinking about like consumerism and stuff like that, right? It's like if you're just focusing on achieving, yes, wealth and items and baubles and whatever, then yeah, like that's not good. That's not very. There's no meaning to that. But that's not what capitalism necessarily is. It's not just consumerism. Nature of capital keeps from making any meaningful decisions about how we create value and meaning. What distinguishes us from other animals is not just... See, this is what I found funny right here. What distinguishes us from other animals is not just that we have free time to play around like other animals do. What distinguishes us from other animals is not just that we have free time to play around like other animals do. Okay, but we also have the capacity to ask ourselves what is worth doing with our free time and what we ought to do with it. And so this is wrong, right? Like animals don't have time to play around, to do all this shit. Neither did humans throughout most of human history. Survival was tough. People in the farming days had to work from dawn, from the crack of noon or dawn till night, and wake up and do it all over again 7 days a week. And they got like a day off maybe because of the religious fucking holiday or some shit. But no, people, not until recently, we're so lucky today how much free time that we get. And you got these idiots complaining about how they don't have enough fucking free time. But like throughout most of history, people did not have time to just sit around and do nothing. They had to go and work and get food, and food was not as easy to get, and it was harder to process as well. It would take days or hours to break down certain foods, certain grains, you know, making it into something usable, you know, like Jesus Christ. It's unintelligible that your decisions are free and that you're leading a free life, unless you can ask yourself that question. Says Halgood author, life, secular faith, and spiritual freedom. Secular faith? What the fuck does that mean? The privilege of time, but owning one's time in 2019 is a purview of elites, according to writer Malcolm Harris. The millennial generation, for example, has inherited a world in which living a life solely of one's own making has a dreamlike quality for any but the most privileged. He contends that they are poorer, in greater debt, and more medicated than their parents or grandparents. Well, you know, some of that is true, you know, but it's still, we still have a lot of fucking time to sit and ponder and to think, and it's not late stage capitalism that's a problem. It's late stage crony capitalism that's the problem, and the over regulation on industry and businesses. But they're going to go and blame it on capitalism, so then they can go and institute more socialism. See, it's not working, guys. In his book, Kids These Days, Human Capital and the Making of Millennials, Harris writes, when millennials express any kind of expectation that life ought to be offered greater meaning, they're derided as being spoiled and entitled. See, you're making us look bad, you fucking asshole. Just shut the fuck up. For young people to say we want to live in a world that is tending towards meaning, that reduces the drudgery, stop speaking for all of us, you cunt, that people have to experience, that reduces the exploitation that people have to experience, so that more of us can do rewarding things with our lives. So see, you know, they just assume working for somebody is exploitation. It's not exploitation. Jesus fucking Christ, get that out of your goddamn heads. It's not exploitation to work for somebody and have them pay you. They're the ones that takes the risk of, you know, putting all the money on the line for the business that could cost millions of dollars. And they're the ones that are going to lose all the money. So you're going to work for that person. And obviously you're not going to get an equal share or something, but it's a trade-off. You're like, hey, yeah, I'll take way less responsibility and do some of this task for you, and you pay me some money. You know, and I get paid. Now I can go buy things and buy stuff I like. How's that exploitation? You know, it's, if that's the only option you have, maybe, but we have a lot of options a lot of the times, and it's becoming less and less so, but that's, once again, not because of capitalism. Harris, who's a millennial himself, says younger people are looking for precisely that connection to history. No, you're not. If you were looking for a connection to history, you know, you wouldn't be a socialist. That sense that they are connected to something bigger and than just their own individual lives. So, you know, these people, they move away from religion, and then they just want to go and be a part of something bigger or something themselves, right? Like, you know, and like, yeah, I can understand that, but it's like, it's like, you know, a lot of people in my mind that say they're atheists or not, well, they're not, because they just say that because, I don't know, it's cool and trendy or something, but they don't actually want to stop believing, or not. They still believe in a higher power or something like that, but then maybe they just reject the Christian faith or reject that God or whatever, right? Because he's mean to gays or some bullshit like that. Like, I don't know, these people are just ridiculous. But that connection is elusive, obscured by a deep sense of alienation from themselves and those around them. Like, just hogwash. What point are you trying to make? History is now. Terrell Carver, who teaches political theory at Bristol University, says, see, all these are teachers. They're all teachers teaching your kids. They're all Marxists. Bristol University says the conditions of alienation, lack of meaning resulting from late capitalism are the same conditions Marx confronted in the 1840s. I think there's much more historical overlap than people realize. I think this also has to do with the new and revolutionary technologies, because the 1840s, like today, was really quite revolutionary in terms of technology. Well, I'm pretty sure he predicted everything to fall a lot quicker than it did, and he's wrong. The Industrial Revolution was getting underway. Also, themes of pollution and exploitation and migration. For Karl Marx, history was now. No generation was disconnected from the one that came before it or the one that would come after. Capitalism is failing in its promise that life would be better for the next generation. It's funny, right? It's like capitalism. It's the one. we can point to what is making life harder. The immigration bills in the 1960s and the 70s, and all these other social programs and other shit that they increased, and regulations that made it harder for business to compete and send jobs overseas with these free trade, quotation mark, free trade deals, right? Like, oh, it's capitalism's fault. But blah blah blah. Socialism is great. CBC is pushing this because they're fucking scumbags. And what do you expect? What do you want from these people? But let's see here. What else is here? What I got here? Oh yeah, woman rushed to hospital with serious injuries after second Toronto acid attack this month. So 2 individuals were the victims of an acid attack in Toronto West End on Sunday afternoon. The incident occurred in a residential building at around 3:30 p.m. According to Toronto paramedics, one woman has been rushed to their hospital with serious but not life-threatening injuries after the attack, while the other sustained minor injuries. Local police are currently investigating the crime. The attack was the second of its kind this week. Earlier this month, a man was arrested for throwing corrosive substance at a man and woman and their baby on June 7th. The incident occurred at Bloor St. Clinton, whatever, right? So, we're going to start looking like London very soon. Like all the stuff we see in London that's going on there, it's very, very soon coming to Toronto in a place just like that, right? Like it's not far away, guys. Not far away. Let me just delete some of that crap here. There's that Kyle kid complaining about being removed from Harvard. Here's another thing. Plan to ban single plastics has First Nations with long-term drinking water advisories worried. So, they depend on a lot of this plastic water bottles to get water and shit. Now they're all worried about it. So another unintended consequence of Trudeau, banning that shit. But I just thought that was kind of funny. Don't really have much more points to make on that one. Let me check out the chat, though. I haven't looked at it in a little bit here. Let's check it out here. Okay, let's move by pretty quick. I'm all white. You're right. Hey, Fredrick. How's it going, buddy? Don't make people, mods who are censor happy. Who's sent, man? Jamie, I don't know what you're talking about. Nobody's censoring you. Profit is theft. Capitalism is fines. Monopolism. A communist. There, I said it. Did he cover it? Just got here. What did I cover? Please tell me there haven't been acid attacks in Canada already. Yeah, there has been. Oh yeah. Well, you got here just on time, Saint. Because yeah, there have been a lot of conflicts with crime, with reports of lack of justice, investigation of crime, lack of resources. Her face is gone, but it's all good because she's alive. Yeah, right. Yay! It's not life-threatening. Yay! She's only going to be missing half of her face, and she's not going to be breathing right anymore. But diversity is our strength, and this is just part and parcel of living in a big city like Toronto, guys. The machete attacks, shootings in large gatherings is going to become the norm. So just get used to it. Get used to that. Like, have like some type of face covering thing that you can put over your face and your hands when you walk around the city or something. And, watch out for your babies too, because people seem to like throw acid on babies and whatnot. But yeah, it's becoming a mess in that city. And you got people like the conservatives, like, I got this one picture from this guy, Stephen Taylor, right? I don't know if you guys know who this guy is, Stephen Taylor, but he's a piece of shit, right? I've seen his tweets before and he's scum, right? So recently some polls came out about immigration. I'm sure you guys have heard about it, how Canadians want to limit immigration by a huge amount. Like 64% want to reduce immigration. So this is Stephen Taylor, June 19th, or is it June 16th? Yeah, okay. We must increase immigration levels to keep Canada competitive in the global economy. So this guy is a CPC fucking shill. I've seen he's just like an Andrew Scheer fucking cuck. And this is what his response was to polls suggest majority of Canadians favor limiting immigration levels. So the Conservatives even know that a lot of their base, like 57, like they're 82% of the Conservative base wants to lower immigration, but they're like, no, we need more immigration. We need more immigration. And you're like, you got these people like, we need to stay competitive. And he's saying the same thing as this motherfucker, right? Ottawa picks 11 communities for pilot immigration program. What was his article? Wait, one sec. Racist fears of secularism. Where was this one? I had another one. Polls suggest. Okay, this is the one where he mentioned it. So polls suggest majority of Canadians favor limiting immigration levels. So new polling numbers suggest a majority of Canadians believe the federal government should limit the number of immigrants it accepts. A public opinion trend that Immigration Minister Ahmed Hussein says he finds concerning. 63% of respondents to a recent Ledger poll said the government should prioritize limiting immigration levels because the country might be reaching a limit in its ability to integrate them. So that's a good sign too. Like, it's not even they're not even worried about the infrastructure. It's about integration, which is even better, right? Because they're like, I don't think these people are gelling with the rest of us here. So just 37% said the priority should be on growing immigration to meet the demands of Canada's expanding economy. So 37%. I wonder who those 37% are. And I wonder how many specifically white men were represented in the ones that voted to reduce immigration, right? Or wanted to reduce immigration. So probably the majority. Just 37% said they should be growing to meet Canada's expanding economy. You fucking idiots, man. Hussein says he is concerned by this because he has heard directly from employers across the country who are in desperate need of workers. Economists and experts widely agree that immigration is key to meeting labor and population shortages. Yeah, well, fuck those economists and these so-called experts, because they're all bullshit. No, we don't need more immigrants to fucking replace us, to keep our economy and to pay for fucking old people's fucking pensions. Fuck that shit. Canadians may be worried about the ability of communities to absorb more newcomers due to housing and other infrastructure shortages. But Hussein says the answer is not to cut the number of immigrants coming to Canada. It's not a zero-sum game, he said. I think the answer is to continue on an ambitious program to invest in infrastructure, to invest in housing, to invest in transit, so that everyone can benefit from those investments, and that we can then use those community services to integrate newcomers, which will also benefit Canadians. So you're already in a $19 trillion deficit every fucking year. You said you're going to balance the budget by 2019, which was a lie. It's not going to be balanced by 2040, which is probably bullshit too. If it was their way, it would never be balanced. They're just going to keep increasing the debt. So their response is, no, we don't need to cut immigration. We just need to invest more and spend more of your money. Take more of your taxpayer money and spend it to build and make programs to give these people jobs or something, right? Like, the poll of 1,500 people, Canadians were randomly recruited from Ledger's online panel conducted from June 7th to 10th for the Canadian press. Polling experts say online surveys cannot be assigned of margin of error because they do not generate a random sample of the population. So, that's true too. So, but there's also been a couple other polls that have said similar results. But the results suggest conservative voters are far more likely to favor limiting immigration levels, as are a majority of Green supporters. See that? A majority of Green supporters are also for limiting immigration. That's why people need to stop being fucking pussies. 81% of conservative respondents and 57% of Greens chose this option, while 41% of Liberals and 44% of NDP supporters were in favor. So, on the flip side, 59% of Liberals said they prefer government increasing the number of immigrants, as did 56% of the NDP respondents and 43% of the Green supporters. Only 19% of Conservatives favored this option. So who the fuck are these 19% of Conservatives? Like, who the fuck are you? Get out of there. Get out of here. The numbers are not the first to suggest a hardening of public opinion against immigration in Canada. A Ledger poll in February had almost half of respondents saying they believe Canada welcomes too many immigrants and refugees. And an Eco poll released last month suggested 42% of Canadians believe the country accepts too many non-white newcomers. In 2017, immigration department officials warned of a tipping point that could undermine public support for welcoming immigrants if public discourse was not approached with care, according to internal data prepared by the Immigration Department for a committee of deputy ministers. So they're just saying, hey, we need to change our rhetoric slightly and mess with people's minds a little bit, because they're getting worried about this immigration thing. We gotta not undermine the public support. And you'll see he mentions a couple of things that they do. And I remember I said this in my last stream. The data, which was obtained by Canadian press through access to information law, suggested a majority of Canadians at that time supported the migration levels, but there was also polling data that suggested the support dropped when Canadians were informed of how many immigrants actually arrive every year. So when they actually learn of the real numbers, they're like, no, what? That many? Holy fuck, no. If the government wants to do more on immigration, managing public attitudes. So what does that mean? Like, changing our opinions? Is that what the government's supposed to do? Is the government supposed to manage our attitudes on immigration? Aren't they supposed to just be kind of following the will of the fucking people? Like, Jesus Christ. And paying close attention to the performances of settlement services would be key. The internal briefing note states, other circumstances can also color attitudes to immigration, hardening attitudes towards immigration in other countries, feelings of disenfranchisement flowing from economic downturns and globalization, the document says. So they're like, all these poor white people, these middle class, they're not liking this. They're getting screwed over. So we got to kind of rosy this up a little bit. Engagement with the Canadian public is necessary. However, any high-profile debate will need to be carefully managed. So this is why they don't really want to have too many debates on it. Hussein said his department has been focused on sharing positive stories of newcomers giving back to their communities as a way to keep public attitudes from turning against new Canadians and refugees. So there's like openly telling, we're releasing feel-good propaganda to make the public think that all refugees and all immigrants are great and rosy and great for the country. just blatant. You know, nobody has a problem with that. He added that this has become increasingly necessary to counter what he called fear-mongering and misinformation being spread about immigrants by conservative leader Andrew Scheer. Like Andrew Scheer is just such a milquetoast loser, and I love how the liberals keep attacking him. Like, oh, it's so funny. I'm just like, he's not even saying any of this stuff. Like, I wish he was. He's not. Like, oh, it's just funny though. We used to have that was their biggest opponent at the moment, so it makes sense. But we used to have a political consensus on immigration. But what worries me is looking at the other side and seeing the leader of the official opposition taking a stance that is rooted in misinformation and conspiracy theories, basically spreading myths about immigration. Hussein said. So what is he talking about? Like Andrew Scheer, he only has the balls to talk about the illegal immigration. So that's it. And you're saying this he's spreading fears and conspiracies when he was saying it was like a crisis, I think. And later on, I think it came out, everybody's like, yeah, it's a crisis. Yeah, it's a crisis. It's becoming a leader to do what and has a corrosive effect on our social fabric. But Scheer says it's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's fault that public support for immigration is waning. So see, Scheer, she's like, oh, it's Trudeau's fault that people don't want as much immigrants anymore. You know, if it was me, they would love it. And they would have no issue with the amount of people that are coming. They have no issue with being replaced because I would do it in a more effective manner and their lives wouldn't be as disrupted as much. He pointed to the influx of 43,000 asylum seekers that have crossed into Canada illegally since 2017, using a forest path in Quebec and avoiding official border checkpoints where they have been turned back in the U.S. asylum system. There's absolutely nothing fair or compassion about real victims of persecution having to fight the government to be reunited with their families, or forcing the oppressed to wait longer than Canada's help while others jump the queue, exploit loopholes and cross the border illegally for places like upstate New York. Scheer stated on Sunday. It's called Hussein's comment about him an attempt to blame opposition, exposing Trudeau's track. But yeah, Hussein is just a fucking retard, that guy. But you know, I really don't like this guy, Stephen Taylor. I've looked at his tweets here and there, and I'm like, oh, this guy, just a basic conservative scumbag, you know, basic conservative fucking scumbag. But let's check out this other thing here. I got to show you guys this. You guys probably can't see this, but this is fucked up. Now, you really cannot make this shit up. This guy is called, I don't know what, Pumpkin Fright or something. But do you think Pizzagate is fake? Yes, like obviously these fucking people. And this is another tweet from 2017 for February. Roses are red except when they're teal. Some people think Pizzagate is real. And then this is another guy, this same guy. Then they came for the pedophiles, and I did not speak out because I am not a pedophile. It's like, really? Are you fucking serious? And then this is a blue check mark. Blue check mark. Blue check mark. All American girl. Tech reporter Peter Bright arrested for soliciting sex with children. So, yeah. This guy complaining is soliciting sex with children. Yeah. You know, that's enough internet for today, I think. You know, quite enough. I'll show you guys this story a little bit later, but I'll check the chat here. One sec. Let's see here. Oh, I haven't checked in a little bit. I'm also on PBC. Put stop ideology parties. Okay. Hello, folks. Staying. Can't imagine why any sane Canadian would harden against immigration. I know, right? Why would we harden against it? Many are clueless. Somebody would hears the Revenue Quebec. Oh wait, Revenue Quebec system. Sorry. Okay, it's moving by pretty quickly. We drink from boxed water. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, freeze, Kel. Each province is different. Okay, so yeah, if anybody's got any questions, put AJ, so that I could see the thing, because the chat's moving pretty quickly right now too, so I won't be able to see specifically. Did you see Trudeau apologize to all Italians? I didn't watch it. No, I didn't watch it, but I heard about it, and it's what do you expect? Of course, Trudeau is going to apologize for something. This is all he has. That's all he has at this point. It's just apologize to this group, promise to give money to this group and to that group. AJ, I try a couple times to be in your show. Oh, you did? Well, I haven't seen it. But yeah, I could bring you on at some point. Mad Max said 250K less, right? Yeah, right. Well, Matt, yeah, he's got to go definitely lower than that. But hey, Faye. Hey, Julie. How's it going? Hey, Sun. Hey, Jim Beaner. Hey, Circuit Joan. I didn't say hi before. And hey, hello, MaidenLiberty. How's it going? Hope you guys are having a good night so far. If you guys got any stories you want me to cover as well, throw it in the chat. Let me know, and I can look it up as well too, and look into it. I gotta show you guys this though here. Fucking now this is we're entering clown world at this point, and I feel bad for this person, to be honest. I feel bad for her, and oh God. See, I'm not making fun of her, right? I'm not making fun of the person, right? But it's just sad at what point we're at right now in civilization. Hey, Buzzed in BC, how's it going, Beer Keef or Keif? I can give you a story if you would like to hear it. Of course. Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to bring anybody on right now, because I want to kind of just cover some stuff. But if I cover it, then maybe I'll throw you the link. What the hell was that? Well, that was I don't know, not a trans person. Well, yeah, they're probably trans, disabled, and black. Like, see these memes that we make. Like, I remember seeing this meme like 2-3 years ago. Of a trans person in a wheelchair, and black latinx, a latinx or something, and increasingly it's becoming harder and harder to tell when articles are from the Onion or if they're legitimate pieces, like legitimate articles. Like it's getting more and more difficult. But let me check out some. Let me pull up something else here. Oh yeah, here I got a story right here. I want to show you guys to another bullshit fake race crime. I got a couple of them actually. Let me share this story also. Let me see this here. Okay, so this is another one happened in Brandon. So racist anti-Semitic graffiti spray painted on 2 Brandon schools, but this is not going to be much because I can already tell by his eyes that he's like, I don't know, Asian or native. He's native. I'm pretty sure he's native. Just by the eye shape and the eyebrows, even with this grainy picture, the facial structure. I'm very good with faces. Okay, I'm very good with faces, and yeah, no, this is not a white person who sprayed this, so it's just people just spray that shit. They like to spray the fucking N-word and Nazi, KKK. Like, people just do that stuff, man. Like, I don't know. It's like, fucking fuck off. Jesus Christ. Not a big deal, but, it's going to be a huge article and big thing about it. But what was I going to, oh yeah, I was going to go to this story right here. So CBC, black student says he was carded, cuffed at university to Ottawa, prompting review. So, you know, I'm so sick of seeing videos of some person resisting arrest and then like, oh, get your hands off me. And they're like not putting their hands behind their back. And then they're like, well, man, I didn't do nothing wrong. I didn't do nothing wrong. I didn't do nothing wrong. It's like, just comply. Deal with this afterwards. But then they get like punched or something, and then they like, oh, this is a racial incident, and this and this and that. And I saw another, you know what? And this is what I hate. This is what I hate, right? Like, see the Raptors shooting that happened. It's like they're trying to make our country into America or something. They're trying to make there's a lot of these like black people that essentially want to create the same circumstances that they think American blacks go through. So then they have the same street cred and the same like, oh, you know how hard it is on the Toronto streets? In the Toronto streets, and you know how we got Drake's hardcore and all this stupid bullshit. That's what a lot of it is. It's just they're trying to compete with Americans and shit. And I remember, like, I know this girl, right? And she's black, and she goes on these black sites, right? And you got these Canadian blacks telling American blacks saying, hey, you know what? You know how racist Canadians are too? Well, they, you know what they did in the Aboriginals? And look at this video. Look at this black guy with Sean Toronto. See, they're really racist here too, guys. We know your struggle, right? And then there's another video of this one, I think a black woman. The girl, she lost her job because the girl that she was asking the black woman, and the black woman was videotaping her. She was like, oh, can I see your receipt? She's like, I don't want to give you my receipt. I don't want to give you my receipt. Blah, 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 blah. And then made a whole issue. And then the girl like lost her job. There's another thing where there's this black woman who was eating on the metro in New York or something, right? And there's signs everywhere that say, don't eat on the metro. Don't eat on the metro. You're not allowed to eat like on the train. Everybody knows that. And then you see this black woman with a huge container out. She's eating it like this. And then this one, like, I think she was an Indian woman, took a picture of it and was like, shared it on her Twitter. And then she had to like, any woman lost her job, lost all this shit because they're like, oh, how are you trying to oppress this black woman? She's just trying to eat her lunch and all this crap. And it's just like, no, she's breaking the fucking rules. It's just like the Starbucks thing where these two black guys come and loiter and they're like, why you want to kick us out? Blah, blah, blah. You know what? I was in Tim Hortons the other day. And I saw two black guys walk in with a laptop, sit down, not buy anything, and just play on their laptop. And I was like, I should fucking film this shit and like be one of these people, like a store on YouTube. I'd probably lose my job though. I'd be like, hey, are you guys gonna buy anything? I should have fucking done it. Just because I just seen these people. I was like, really? Like, I bet you they're just doing it on purpose. Because they're like, oh, I hope somebody comes to me so then I could bring up my cell phone and make a huge issue and then become like a hero or some shit. It's really getting on my fucking nerves. And it's like you're not oppressed. You don't live in a fucking racist ass society. The only racist people in Canada are the fucking people coming here. Okay, well, that's not completely true. Okay, I'm saying there's racist white people, there's lots of racist native people, but it's not just like white people, right? There's plenty of black people or whatever people that come here that are also racist towards us and shit. But let me play this.
The University of Ottawa is now investigating an allegation of racial profiling. A black student is claiming he was carded and handcuffed by campus security while skateboarding at U of O. Ithel Musa has more on the incident itself and now the fallout.
Jamal Boyce initially posted about the encounter on social media. The third-year student says he was skateboarding on Wednesday when
Of course, his name is Jamal. Come on.
he was stopped by campus security staff.
You have ID on you. Stop following me. I don't have to have ID on me.
They asked for ID, which he didn't have on him, and when he tried to walk away, they followed him, hit his phone to the ground as he tried to record the incident, eventually grabbing him and putting him in handcuffs for 2 hours. Ottawa police say they were called by University of Ottawa security staff to assist in identifying a man accused of trespassing and not identifying himself.
Yeah, certainly.
Christopher Kelly.
Oh, now here comes the open mouth beta fucking cuck. Like this is you'll see. This is the perfect example. Like this guy I bet you if you look at his Instagram or Twitter, whatever he probably has 50 pictures with his mouth wide open, be like, that look that they make. What here?
Bisson is a PhD candidate at the University of Ottawa. He witnessed some of what took place. He says he was surprised Boyce was being held for doing something that happens on campus almost every day.
While OPS had just arrived and the security guards were no longer on him, pretty much, this fellow, the white guy on a skateboard, just skateboards by, and then a few people from the crowd were like, hey, why don't you arrest this guy? And then the security guard piped in and said, oh, he's not doing tricks. And it's just, kind of rich.
Yeah. You know what? You can skateboard, but if you're grinding and you're doing grinds on like the concrete and the pavement and stuff, they don't usually like that. So it's not necessarily a good comparison. Well, why aren't you stopping the white guy? He's skateboarding by there, and he's that smug look on his fucking face. I'm an anti-racist fucking fighter, patriot.
I've been here for 4 years now, and I see people skateboarding and doing tricks all the time.
Sir, you barged into my office without knocking on the door.
When Boyce posted video of the incident online, University of Ottawa law professor Amir Adaran posted some of his own. He says in 2017, an official forced his way into his office and carted both him and his PhD student. He complained to the university, but he still hasn't heard anything about it. He says when it comes to race, the school has a big problem.
When I saw Mr. Jamal's video, I decided it was time for me to share mine. But there is systemic racism, as evidenced by the fact that the university has legal obligations, for instance, to report on equity and diversity every year. And in 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, all the way out to 2016, they never did it, not once. And to this day, they will not and are not collecting data that is legally required on the inclusion of visible minorities.
What a piece of shit. There's systemic racism in our schools and these liberal education systems, right? It's like, come on, guys. AJ, shot calls in this victim's card. BS out. Hey, Brian, how's it going, man? They get to take special privilege. Guns legal in Toronto. Now call alert. Let's go, people. Who else is here for AJ's array of voice work? Yeah. All right. Yeah. All the voices I make. The store guy tried to lay. Oh, sorry. I missed that. The store guy tried to lay that on me, the black guy, about natives. I set him straight. He's only been here for 5 years. Durka Muhammad Jilad. Bears killing it tonight. You should have done it. Let me check out the chat here a little bit more. Anyone watching this, remember Toronto. Toronto loves immigrants. Lots of welfare. Cry Me a River. Ha ha ha. Cry Me a River. It's a good song. Natives are the worst racist haters. Yeah, probably. They're probably pretty up there, to be honest. Honestly, I'm gonna say I think white people are the least racist group. I mean, maybe there's some small groups or whatnot that are also not very racist, but I think in general, white people are least racist. Private, all schools give students 100 per class. Academia. Bill Burr got nothing on your personality impressions. Of course, that's not saying much. Yeah, that's Bill Burr. Yeah, I don't think he has a huge, wide range. I don't have many voices. I got like 3 voices, right? 3 different voices that I'll make, or maybe like 2 the most. White countries are, yeah, they're definitely the least racist, and I think it's like Arab countries that are like the most racist, right? But My Little Pony fell to the gay corporations featuring 2 gay aunts, right? Yeah, everything's falling to the gays right now, but I think that it's not going to last forever. I I don't see it consistently going on in this direction for too much longer. Like there's going to be some type of backlash or something, right? It's just a matter of time. Let's check out. Let's see here. Share some more articles here. I'll just take you through some more news that I came across today. So this is the article of CBC, and I like the way they frame the article. Right, conservative senators drop attempt to investigate Norman case. So it's funny. It's funny the headline because they don't have a majority in the fucking House, so it's not up to them to be able to necessarily do the investigation. Like if they don't have enough votes, conservative senators are throwing in the towel over a planned investigation into the failed prosecution of Vice Admiral Mark Norman. But in the note, Dag Nass said, in order to hold hearings beyond the Senate's scheduled adjournment on June 20th, there needed to be an agreement from both the government and opposition. He said it became clear following a meeting on Thursday with independent Senator Peter Harder, the government representative in upper chamber, that there would be no such permission. So the Liberals literally want to prevent the truth from coming out, right? So it's the Liberals who don't want to continue it. But the headlines, conservative senators drop attempt to investigate Norman case. So, most people read just the headlines, right? But the House of Commons Defense Committee declined to investigate the circumstances and the policy issues which led to Norman, the former commander of the Navy, being charged. So, yeah, why would they look into that? CBC News asked Boniface and Harder for comment, but neither was immediately available Sunday after to respond. So this is what I was saying earlier about how CBC or articles when they're like, oh, they refuse to answer, but it's somebody they kind of like. It's like, oh, they weren't immediately available, and it's just an unfortunate coincidence. Defense writer for CBC based in Ottawa. He's covered this. I'll look into you later. I'll look into you later when I get some time. So Ottawa picks 11 communities for pilot immigration projects. So I'm sure you guys have heard about this. So they want to go Thunder Bay, Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, Timmins, North Bay, Gretton, whatever, Brandon, Moose Jaw, Claresholm, whatever, Vernon. The government will work with communities this summer to help them identify candidates for permanent residence as early as this fall. This first newcomers under the pilot are expected to arrive in 2020, right? So continued vibrancy of rural areas. Instead of addressing what the real problem is, they're just going to throw in a bunch of immigrants to then go on social assistance probably at some point and just be voters for the Liberal Party at some point. And then they're just going to make those areas less safe, because that's what's going to happen. I'm sorry to say that's what's going to happen. When it becomes less white, it becomes less safe. It's like every time. And I'm not saying people, minorities are like violent by nature or anything like that. But for some reason, when things get diverse, things don't get, it gets violent. It doesn't become safe. It's not good anymore. But fuck that stupid shit, right? So what is this? Oh yeah, they're reclaiming Marxism. Conservative Norman. This is, I thought, was funny, right? So this is a CBC article. No, Trudeau did not give $465 million to Afghanistan only to have it disappear. So apparently this is a fake story, but they go within the story, it pretty much admits that it's true. Okay, so a false blog post claiming that Trudeau government spent $465 million in foreign aid to Afghanistan, only to have it disappears to continues to be shared online. The right-wing fringe political party that originally penned the post is one of a handful of Canadian groups that peddle false, misleading information online in an effort to spread xenophobic ideas, according to the Canadian Anti-Hate Network. On April 29th, the Cultural Action Party published a blog post on its website titled Trudeau Government Hand $465 million to Afghanistan. Hey, everybody, hit the like and share while you're at it. Hit the like, share, follow me on BitChute, Minds, Gab, and I'm gonna join some other things, but just to throw that in there. Trudeau government hands $465 million to Afghanistan. Funds disappear. Since its original publication, the story has been posted to dozens of Facebook groups and garnered more than 20,000 interactions, according to the social media monitoring site Crowd Tangle. Weeks later, it continues to be shared. Although the figure of 465 million is partially correct, most of the other assertions in the piece are incorrect or misleading. Between 2001 and 2018, the government in Canada sent 2.4 billion in foreign aid to Afghanistan for reconstruction and stabilization efforts, according to Global Affairs Canada. That total figure includes the 465 million announced by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau at the 2016 NATO summit. So, all true. However, the blog post goes on to allege the money has disappeared, citing a report from an unnamed government oversight agency. So, in fact, the report was from an American agency and only looked at U.S. aid to Afghanistan. The report states that approximately 1/3 of U.S. aid to Afghanistan has been squandered due to race, fraud, and abuse. Canada ended its more than 12 years of military involvement with U.S.-led war in Afghanistan in 2014, but remains tied to the Mideast country through foreign aid and development programs. While Canada does not have an independent audit of how its money was used, so we don't even have our own audit. We don't even care, I guess. Oh, well, we trust you, Afghanistan. We're not going to do an audit. Here's 416 million. The author of the U.S. report, Special Inspector General John Sopka, told the Globe and Mail that it's very likely similar problems plague Canadian funds. So, yeah, it's most likely the money has disappeared as well. Even so, the claim that all Canadian funds have disappeared is unsubstantiated. So, they're just pulling one of the, what do you call it? The Snopes type thing, mostly false. You read the article, it's like 80% true. There's like a little bit of fucking, I guess, falseness to it or incorrectness. And you're like, whatever. In fact, Trudeau has drawn criticisms. But former Prime Minister Stephen Harper also committed hundreds of millions of dollars to helping develop in the country. In fact, so that's not fake news. To not say that is not fake news. Like people do that. Toronto Star and the left-wing publications, the CBC does this all the time too. Is that fake news now because they didn't mention how much liberals spent, or as opposed to how much conservatives fucked up or spent? No. Trudeau has drawn criticism from the Organization for Economic Cooperation Development for not going far enough when it comes to foreign aid. Blah blah blah. Right. So. It's just, they're just going to say this is misleading information when the majority of it was true. They're going to make a fucking article. CBC, it's more cucks for Trudeau. But, I saw an article something from Andrew Scheer saying how he doesn't want to cut CBC's budget. He's just mad that Unifor has control of a lot of the money and where the money is going. So, this guy, he doesn't care either. What is this one? So, Ontario family files human rights complaint after 6-year-old girl upset by gender theory in school. So, this is actually a good lawsuit, though, because this girl, they were trying to this teacher was trying to teach them that like a boy wasn't a boy and a girl wasn't a girl. So N is the kind of child, they're just calling her N. Her mother, Pamela, told me in a television interview that adores school, or did until the particular morning that prompted this column. The video was entitled He, She, and They, Genderqueer Kid Stuff. Number 2, the video contains statements such as, some people aren't boys or girls, and that there are people who do not feel like a she or a he, and therefore might not have a gender. The young teacher, whom I will refer to by her initials, JB, continued to teach gender theory throughout the semester. According to N's feedback to her mother, JB told the children that there is no such thing as girls and boys, and girls are not real and boys are not real. So these are teaching your kids. They're teaching your kids. By mid-March, N's parents could see the lessons were having an impact on their daughter as she began spontaneously and repeatedly asking them why her identity as a girl was not real. She asked if she could go to a doctor about the fact that she was a girl. She said she was not sure if she wanted to be a mommy. Mrs. Vaughan explained to N that grown-up women had a choice, but was concerned that the subject was coming up in grade 1 gender lessons, right? So, you know, and this is even coming probably from a liberal type mother, right? She's saying like, oh, well, you can make the choice when you're older, but, you know, but they go on, and the school kept fucking them around for a little while, but, you know, the last article kind of sums this up a little bit. You know, if the buffoons win their case, buffoons, it will set a precedent that may have a far-reaching consequences for the teaching of gender issues in Ontario's elementary schools. The HRTO will be very conscious of the potential fallout from their decision. For that reason, the cynic in me fears the dice are loaded against the buffoons. I very much hope to be proven wrong. So yeah, they're probably right. Like, you know, they're probably not gonna win their discrimination lawsuits or whatnot to change the case law or whatever, but for other people, yeah, it will work. Okay, let me check out this, and I'll talk about the Quebec thing soon here. Send them the alerts. Congrats, Concan. BitChute. People add me to BitChute. Yeah, go to BitChute. The PPC is right. Take down funding. Taxpayer puff into smoke trick. Better video. Last one, thumbs up. Hey, Dino. I live down the street from Danny. Conky, the budget will balance itself. Of course it'll balance itself. Indoctrination works. I wear a dress. Yeah, let's go. Let's check out. Let's check out the Quebec thing here, because you know that. You know, I don't know what you guys think about the immigration bill and the hijab bill ban, but I think that's a good thing that happened in Quebec, right? Like, what are they supposed to do, right? Like, it's like a bittersweet thing that is going on there, right? Because at one point you're like, hey, this is great that they're reducing the immigration and they're banning hijabs and all that crap. Like, this is great, but at the same time, they're taking a lot of money and being like dicks when it comes to that. You're like, fuck, you know. So it's like a bittersweet thing, right? You're like, it's a good thing. I like it, but you know, I just wish that the rest of Canada could be for it too. But there's even the English universities, I think, in Quebec and whatnot, that are going to oppose the Bill 21, right? And they're gonna not enforce it. So it's like, fucking goddamn. See, there's so much resentment between French and English people in Canada, right? It's you know, it's just there, and it never really goes away, and it's understandable why people don't like Quebec and shit and whatnot, because they treat people badly. But hey, man, I fucking grew up French, surrounded by a bunch of English people too, and they weren't necessarily the kindest people either when they find out your fucking history and shit. Nonetheless, so you know, there's a lot of animosity that I think is kind of unnecessary. But right, you know, Quebec is taking a lot of money from other provinces, but at the same time, it's the government that is giving it to them. Right? It's the government, and it all comes down. It comes down to votes. It comes down to the way that they make the ridings or whatever. So then they have a lot of power, right? That's the way our fucking country is set up. So there's no incentive for them not to act differently. Why would they? Why would they act differently? It's, what are they supposed to do? Like, take in the immigrants and destroy their culture just so then we all of our cultures are destroyed because the rest of us are the rest of the fucking provinces are too fucking brainwashed and stupid to not want mass immigration into their fucking provinces. Well, if we all combined and all said, yeah, hijab ban, and all said, oh yeah, we want to limit immigration, then yeah, they wouldn't really be able to do much about it. Watch Joe. I don't know, Dino, you're you gotta lay off on fucking commenting like a crazy, like a ton of my fucking videos, man. Because you're like, 1 minute you're like, great stuff, and then the next minute you're like, you suck. Like, you're terrible, blah blah. like I don't know, man. What the fuck you want? Can walk into a bank wearing a potato sack. I'm not neutral, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like, what am I supposed to be mad at them for using their power, using their ability to get what they want? Nah. I just wish the rest of Canada cared as much about their culture and preserving it as much as Quebec people cared about preserving their culture, right? But they don't. Like I said, it was the English school that, well, what do you want me to be, old white guy? I have to pick a side. I hate Quebecers, and I love the English. It's like, no. You know what? Like, I don't know what to say. It's my opinion. Fuck Quebec. Fuckers. No, man, like, I'm French. like, I want them to keep their culture, man. It's like, a lot of English people were fucking dicks to me too growing up, so I can understand the animosity between two people. But I don't hold grudges and shit. Whatever. People are young and people just grow up in this. Like, people find out, oh, you speak French, you have a French name. Oh, well, they say some snooty comment or whatever, but it's like, I don't know, whatever, man. I don't care. Like, go ahead, be that way. It's unnecessary. It's just divide and conquer at the end of the day, but whatever. Have a good night, Kate. What the fuck do you mean? Oh, like, I have to stand for something? What do you stand for something? Go, don't fucking troll me with that bullshit. I have to stand for something. Stand for what? I like Quebec banning hijabs, and I like them reducing immigration. What are we supposed to do? Go in and start like beating up Quebecers and shit? Like, you take in your fair share. You take in your fair share of immigrants. Like, what are we supposed to do? We're not going to do that. But whatever, right? Check this. Share screen. Okay, I got one or two more things I want to show. So there's a Kyle Kashuv or whatever. I guess he was had his Harvard rescinded. So Harvard rescinded my acceptance. 3 months after being admitted to Harvard class of 2023, Harvard has decided to rescind my admission over texts and comments made nearly 2 years ago, months prior to the shooting. I have some thoughts. Here's what happened. So a few weeks ago, I was made aware of egregious and callous comments classmates and I made privately years ago. So he's just including his classmates in there too. It's like, oh, it wasn't just me when I was 16 years old. So like, what, a year and a half ago, before the shooting, an attempt to be as extreme and shocking as possible. I immediately apologized. Here is my apology. And there was like a non-apology either, right? I remember reading that. It was just a huge non-apology. Who cares about this fucking kid, man? Dude, I don't care. No, you can't go into Harvard now. Oh, like, were you going to be accepted into it before? No. But now you are. So big deal, right? You know, the only reason people, they want to go to these schools is because of the connections that they make, right? He knows, he's like, fuck, I don't want to go to this shitty school, no name school, where I'm just going to be a nobody. You know, this guy, he wants to be in politics. He wants to be in part of the shakers and the movers and stuff. And the way you do that is you go to these universities and stuff, right? And I was listening to this thing about this guy defending the legacy program, because that's another thing too in universities, right? That's a big deal. It's the legacy program. All these kids are getting in because, you know, their parents and whatnot are rich, right? And, you know, it makes sense because, you know, they're giving a lot of money to endowments and whatnot. But, you know, the reason all those people were doing those university scams to get their kids into these schools was because then they'd be set for life. Right? They would be mixed with old money, is mixed with new money. You know, like this is like those are the upper class people. See, they purposefully keep regular people out of that because they you know, it's a fake meritocracy. They're like, oh yeah, you can go up, you can rise up, you know, to a certain point, but when it comes to, you know, the people that are making the decisions and stuff like that, and, you know, they all go to these types of schools, these places. And yeah, because they meet people that are multi-billionaires, rich, they have lots of connections, that are kids of politicians and whatnot already. So, you know, this is the real reason a lot of times where they want to go to these schools. But, you know, so I don't really feel any much sympathy, right? And people are acting like, oh, my life is ruined. I'm like, what? Hey, my life isn't so bad. Don't worry, man. You're still gonna get a good education. You're still gonna be okay. You're not gonna. And yeah, I get it as well. It's bullshit that you know, a bunch of other leftists and stuff can still get on and get to go because of this. But, you know, I got no sympathy for this guy whatsoever. After the story broke, former peers and political opponents began contacting Harvard, urging them to rescind me. Harvard then sent this letter stating that Harvard reserves the right to withdraw an offer of admission and requested a written explanation within 72 hours. But see, you know, he's like, he apologized. I responded to the letter with a full explanation, apology, and requested documents. So, you know, don't apologize. I also send an email to the Office of Diversity and Inclusion to seek guidance on how to right this wrong and work with them once I was on campus. Harvard decided to rescind my admission with the following letter. Somewhat ironically, the Office of Diversity and Inclusion sent me this response regarding my apology. Thank you for your email. We appreciate your thoughtful reflections and forward to connecting you, blah, blah, blah. You know, after receiving Harvard's letter revoking my acceptance, I responded by asking for the opportunity to have an in-person meeting to make my case to face and work towards any possible path of reconciliation. Harvard responded by declining my meeting request. Harvard deciding that someone can't grow, especially after a life-altering event like a shooting. So now he's pandering. He's like, I'm a victim. Oh, I went through a shooting. Oh, feel sorry for me. Oh, fuck. Shut the fuck up, man. A lot of people have tough fucking lives. Get over it. Get over it. If any institution should understand growth, it's Harvard, which is looked to as a pinnacle of higher education, despite its checkered past. You know, anytime people bring up, I went through this in my life and you're going to do this to me. Well, you just lose respect. Throughout its history, Harvard's faculty has included slave owners, segregationists, bigots, and anti-Semites. If Harvard is suggesting that growth isn't possible and that our past defines our future, then Harvard is inherently racist institution. Now you're calling them racist. I don't think they're gonna reconsider your offer anymore. But I don't believe that. Oh man, these Jews fucking. I believe that institutions and people can grow. I've said that repeatedly. In the end, this isn't about me. It's about whether we live in a society in which forgiveness is possible or mistakes brand you as irredeemable, as Harvard has decided for me. So what now? I'm figuring it out. I had given up a huge scholarship in order to go to Harvard, and the deadline for accepting other colleges offers has ended. I'm exploring all options at the moment. Like it's kind of shitty, like a little shitty, but you see all these people like learn how to code. A lot of them are saying they're like, learn how to code. You need to shut up. That's what it was. Unless I guess a lot of these, maybe they got removed. Maybe their accounts did, because I remember seeing a lot of people saying learn how to code underneath this, but they are saying it to this guy who has a blue check mark, and yeah, he's one of the chosen people, so he does have a little bit of sway here, because I don't see any of these learn to code tweets anymore. There was a shit ton of them. Maybe it was under one of his main tweets or something. Let's see. Whatever. Whatever. Fuck it. Fuck that guy. AJ, too bad for the rest of us don't have the balls to do it. Derek Rance had a more polished video. AJ Elicits. A more polished video of what? Look, I like cocky. AJ stands for capitalism. He's going to fix my roof. Oh, of course I'm going to fix your roof. I will fix your roof, Julie, as soon as possible. A group that is suing Harvard University is demanding that it publicly release admission data on hundreds of thousands of applicants, saying records show a pattern of discrimination Asian Americans, right? Yeah. There's that whole Asian American thing. And it's really there. Yeah, it's to keep. That's what BM is, right. Harvard wants to keep Asians out to keep Harvard white. Yeah, that's essentially their point, right? They're not on our side. The Asians, and they cheat, right? He's right. They cheat a lot. There's a lot of these what do you call it, essays that people write, and they have all these people write their essays for them, and they just rewrite it slightly differently. So I don't trust Asian scores, to be honest. But you're right, and they're saying that too. BM Gloom, you're right too. It's they're full of Jews. Harvard's full of Jews, but they interchange Jew and white all the time. When they want to smear white people, they'll be like, "Oh, look at all these white people here." But then when they want to talk about how great Jews are, like, look at all these Jews in Harvard. Like they're fucking so smart, right? But but then then the Asians are like, oh, I want to keep it all white, but really it's Harvard. I'm pretty sure it's mostly Jewish now, and they want to turn it into what, UCLA or something. I think UCLA it's called the like University of like Asians in a sea of white people, or white people stuck in a sea of Asians or something. Yeah, see, BM is Jewish when it's convenient, right? When it's convenient, he's a minority. When it's not, he's a part of the rest of everybody. When he's telling white people how bad and stupid they are, he's white, and he's like, us white people need to smarten up, and we need to do this, and we need to do that. But then when people are like, white this, what? Well, I'm not white. Oh, I'm not one of those white people. It's like, yeah, right. I got nothing against Jewish people, to be honest, man. But I do see that pattern of where people switch from back and forth, and you're like, man, come on, just pick one, man. I'll say you're white. You look white. You're probably majority European DNA if you're Ashkenazi Jew. Like, what? you're majority fucking European, so you should just fucking say you're white, because I don't like that. No, you're not white. You are white. It's like, just, man, you're white. Okay, you're white. You look white. You're white. People are gonna look at you as white anyways, so you may as well just fucking take the term. Yeah, well, I'll take it away from you. See, white people, we give it away and we take it away. We'll take your white card away when you make us mad. You'd be like, you're not white anymore. You get out of here. See, modern ex-Muslims, they spell the truth in the face, right? I'm off. Okay, doesn't matter. Stupidity game. White when they commit crimes. Yeah, right. The white when they commit crimes. Then it's like, or white when it's looking at all these executives in businesses or all the people on the Forbes list. They're like, oh, look at all these white men. It's like 1/3 of them are Jews. Like you know that, but so that's why I'm saying, like, so either come with us or don't, because then we'll take credit of all the things you guys have made as well, right? We'll be able to glob on to any of that stuff. So you'd be like, oh, here you go, but they don't want that. They're like, no, that's ours. That's our history. We did this. We did that. I'm joking. You know what? Jewish people right now are trying to sue Canada because our election day falls on one of their holidays, right? Okay, I got an article from that. Like, Jews sue Canada for election day. I'm not even joking. Yeah, it's 4 days ago. This is 4 days ago. Although I don't know what site this is, but I'm pretty sure Times of Israel. Yeah, see, this is from Times of Israel, so I don't think it's fake news here. It may be, but I can see them doing something like this. Why wouldn't they? So lawsuit challenges holding of Canadian national election on Jewish holiday. So suit filed by a Jewish candidate and a voter says holding of elections on Shemini Atzeret would prevent observant Jews from casting their vote. I don't care. A Jewish candidate in Canada's federal election and Jewish voter have filed a lawsuit asking to change the voting day. I mean, these people are great with lawsuits. There's lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit asking to change the voting day because it falls on a Jewish holiday. Shemini Atzeret comes out this year on election day, October 21st, which would prevent observant. Why wasn't this an issue until now? Why is this an issue now? The 4 advanced polling days, 3 are on other Jewish holidays of Shabbat. Oh, God. The lawsuit called an application was filed last week in federal court and asked the elections date to be changed to October 28th. Shani Arabain, the Conservative Party candidate for the Toronto area district of Ellington Lawrence, and the voter Ira Walfish of York Centre, also a Toronto area district, filed the suit claiming that the election date discriminates against observant Canadian Jews. So, Conservative Party candidate, right? These people, they're Zionists, man. They're just fucking Zionists. Filed claiming that the election date discriminates against observant Jews. It's like, guys, why do you keep pandering? Or I guess they're just doing that because they're Jewish, but Jews don't vote right, okay? They vote left. So I'm all for not making it harder for people to vote. Like, honestly, I'm for making it harder for people to vote. I don't want to make it easy, okay? I want to make it difficult. And because that way, it's only the people who really fucking care, who will actually take the time to go vote, or whatnot. And I don't care if it falls on your religious holiday, because you came to this country voluntarily. You came to Canada voluntarily. So this means you knew what country you were entering into before you fucking entered into it. And you knew when we held our election days and all this stuff, right? But this is not going to pass or anything like that, right? But it's just annoying that they would actually go and try to like sue for this shit, right? It's the Conservative Party, right? So they're no better, these fuckers. But here's a picture of the demographics of Canada, right? Now, this is 60% to 69% foreign-born population in Canadian federal ridings. So this is only foreign-born. And you know what I noticed? Look at Manitoba. Look, no data. They just don't care about us. That's what I'm saying. They don't care about us. They hate us. They hate us, old white guy. You see that? Everywhere else, even Nunavut, even this barren wasteland has data. No data. No data. Really? Like, that's the one thing I mainly want to show about this was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Whatever. Sons of bitches. But, as you see, Toronto Metro, just a sea of fucking blue and black. But these are only foreign born, so this is not including second generation. Is it? I don't think it is. Maybe it is, but I don't think it is. So these numbers are not as bad as they should be, but Vancouver, Toronto, and Ottawa are always kind of shitty. Winnipeg, got some dark blue there. This is like, yeah, I know that area. That makes sense. Calgary, there's that. But yeah, but I'm just pissed off. I'm like, no data? Like, really? There are people live here, I'm pretty sure there are people live here. Even Saskatchewan, you got some shit on Saskatchewan. Really? That's what really gets me is that, like, they're comparable, right? Saskatchewan and Manitoba. But then they still take them over us. You know what? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Look at we have big river in the middle. Do you guys have this? Do you have a big river like that? Bodies of water? No, you don't. You don't. See? This is why they ignore us, because we have like the coolest looking province, like, the way it's shaped. You look at the way it's shaped. That's pretty cool. This is like a blob of something. Doesn't make any sense. Ugly, small, weird, straight rectangle. This looks like a state or something. That doesn't look cool. This is the best. That's my. See, we got a big body of water. It's fucking assholes. This is my opinion. I think they're doing this on purpose because they know Manitoba is the home of the great Canadians that will rise and free the rest of Canada from enslavement. We will be the ones that free you all from enslavement. It'll be me, old white guy. We'll have a sanctuary that we built that will have farms and, what do you call it? Like greenhouses and guns, underground tunnels, all the necessities when things go downhill, right? So this is actually, yeah. You know what? Yeah. You know what we should do, guys? Okay? This is our game plan, okay? When things go to shit, we're all going to meet up in Manitoba because it's the middle of everywhere. All you guys come from there. It's the middle. It's easy. We can all meet up there, right? We'll live somewhere around here. Maybe, maybe around the water. Somewhere, so we got fish, we got food. We probably got tons of resources. Like, sure, man, it's gonna get cold in the winter, but you're white, you're European, you can handle it, right? You can handle it. So you come and everybody migrate to Manitoba. That's my plan. I think it's a good plan. Next to Alberta. So which country is he going to hell first? U.S. or Canada? I don't know. That's a tough move. We just have the Great Lakes and the St. Lawrence River. Yeah, fuck you, Faye. It's Manitoba, the province with a little piece of USA trapped here. AJ Elicits. This is AJ Elicits on meth. Dude, that's a plan. Yeah, it is a plan. I'm telling you, it is a plan. It's a good plan. And we should all meet up and when things go to hell, because we will survive better together than separate. And we'll all take our knowledge of survival together, and we will go and live in Manitoba, not Saskatchewan, because the Rough Riders suck balls. Saskatchewan is shit. Regina. What kind of name is Regina and Saskatoon? You know, Saskatoon. Like, that's just stupid. Stupid names. And I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm kidding. I have nothing against you people, against you fucking scum. But Manitoba, you know, Winnipeg is called. It's named. It's the murky waters. You know. Yeah, well, you know, we can build. I knew a guy that did that. I forget. My buddy was telling me where this one guy, he was on meth because he had to do community service or something, right? And they said he had to paint a basement, like the gym basement at the Dakota Community Center, like next to the school that we went to. And they saw this guy smoke a bunch of crystal meth on camera. And then he had like 3 days to do the painting, but he did it all in like 5 hours, right? He was all on meth. He's like, oh, he did it all in 5 hours, right? It was pretty amazing. Yeah, Winnipeg is the largest res in Canada. Hey, man, well, that's true. But we don't have to live in Winnipeg, okay? We can move further up north somewhere, create a community, buy water, buy sustainable land and whatnot, and yeah, secluded away from everybody else. When the purge happens, when the collapse, when people start getting thrown into gulags, immigrants hate winter. Exactly, right? Immigrants hate winter, so change is high. Can't exactly see. We want to go in cold, bitter environments that nobody wants to live in, because we can live in those. We can survive. We can thrive in those environments. Sounds like a great place to get scalped. Is Manitoba flat as fuck? Yeah, pretty flat as fuck. But I'm gonna go to my dad's at some point this summer. And if you guys want me, I'll take some videos and pictures of the valley in my dad's, and that's not flat. That's pretty beautiful, actually. It's really nice, beautiful terrain, really nice to look at. You know, I'll take a video and pictures of that, and I'll post them to my YouTube. Sounds like a great place to get scalped. I don't know. That makes me laugh, but I think I'm going to end it in a few minutes because it's already been quite a little while here. I've been streaming since it's 2 hours. Yeah, I think 2 hours is a good mark. I don't think any more than that people want to watch. Even 2 hours is a lot of fucking time. Surprised anybody watches that afterwards either. But you know, guys, hit the like button, hit the share button. Like I said, go to my BitChute account, because who knows if this gets deleted. You can. I also have a secondary YouTube channel, but I don't know what would happen if this one got a community strike, if it would affect the other channel as well. I'm not entirely sure about that. But Who's banned? Nobody's banned. I want to see. I didn't ban nobody. No one of my mods are banning anybody. I don't even see any of my mods in here right now. No, they're all gone. Every time you come here, you say that. Or who said that? Or what was it? You're banned. No, not you, Dino. Actually, it was somebody else I was thinking about. I'm shopping for body armor, anticipation of full diversity. Nothing on TV, AJ. I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV in probably more than 10 years or something, right? Like, I don't know. You can see good stuff up there. But Trut's #1, right? So you know, I can have you on the show, you know, at some point in the future. You know, send me an email. I think my email is in the description below here. Let me see here. I think, is it in there? Is my email there? No, it's not there. Okay, well, go to my what do you call it? You know, you can message me on Gab or IDW or my Discord. Go to Discord. Let me show you guys my Discord, and I'll give you the link as well there too. I think unless you're already on my Discord, I have no idea. Yeah, dead center. Right, left, or fence sitters. We're not fence sitters. All right. Copy. Take it easy, old white guy. I'm here. I just don't ban free speech. I'm here. I just don't ban free speech. Oh, okay. Hey, Faye. Yeah, right. You know, nobody's banning. Nobody's even banning anybody. I banned BM. I unbanned him. I unbanned him. I say when I ban people, should make it and then somebody's banning people without my knowledge. I have no fucking idea, but some people make lies up a lot too. Like people were saying the other day that like, oh, your mods are banning people. Like, no, they're not. I didn't see any of the comments being removed at all. So I was like, I would see it. It shows it. It shows me. Yeah, well, yeah, I did ban BM because he's Jewish. Because, you know, your people are everywhere, and you need to be silenced. You need to be silenced. No, I'm joking, but let's see here. Fucking cat hair. God, piece of shit. Yeah, well, white guy does ban people because he does it for like fucking fun. I think he does it just to troll. I think he's just trolling people when he bans. Usually. Yeah, I know you're only 2%, but that doesn't stop you from infiltrating everything, you know. Jesus Christ. But yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna call it a night here. Thank you all for joining, guys. Like I said before, share, like, that all helps as well. And I hope you all have a great night. Even BM, right? I'm joking, but take it easy, guys. I hope you all have a good one. Peace out.